right, welcome back to Friday Night Fights. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Teddy. Let's break this down and try to make it as simple as possible in regards to, of course, Mayweather-Pacquiao. The fight was all but done when Floyd Mayweather started to make demands for more rigorous blood testing. After a full day of mediation, they seem right now to be 10 days apart. Pacquiao has agreed to blood testing 3 times, but not from 24 days until the fight itself, but with a blood test right after the fight. Floyd Mayweather says he will accept a random blood test up until 14 days before the fight. So they're 10 days apart. After the stalemate, though, yesterday, Pacquiao's promoter, Bob Arum, said, that's it, it's over, the mega fight is off. Here's the statement from Manny Pacquiao. Again, this was yesterday. Pacquiao says, I am very disappointed that we could not make this fight for the fans, and I am angered because of the false accusations from Golden Boy and the Mayweather camp that I used some type of drugs. And that is why I have instructed our American lawyers to proceed with the lawsuit to clear my name. Okay, there is a lawsuit in the works from Pacquiao. Hours after that statement, Floyd Mayweather fired out his own statement. Here's his statement. Throughout this whole process, I've remained patient, but at this point, I am thoroughly disgusted that Pacquiao and his representatives are trying to blame me for the fight not happening when clearly the blame is on them. First and foremost, not only do I want to fight Manny Pacquiao, I want to whip his punk ass. He goes on to say things about the blood testing, and he finishes off by saying Manny needs to stop making excuses, step up, and fight. Again today, Freddie Roach said his man Pacquiao is ready to move on to Josh Clottey, a welterweight. So here's my conversation earlier today with Pacquiao's trainer, Freddie Roach. Freddie, how concerned is Manny about people saying, hey, why won't he do all this different blood testing? Is he hiding something? Is he juicing? How concerned is Manny about that?
I don't think we're concerned too much about that, and you know, people, you know, some people are going to say that, of course, and you know, the thing is, again, everyone acts differently about taking blood, and he just doesn't feel right for about 3 days. So the thing is, you know, we're willing to work with the commission and with their rules, but I mean, we've never tested positive. Not an ounce of evidence that we ever take steroids. Manny Pacquiao, I have trouble giving him protein shakes and vitamins. So I know he's clean, and I can live with that.
Can you say he's clean, Freddie?
100%.
Is it over, this fight now?
Yeah, we're going to move on and go on to Joshua Clottey, it looks like, and you know, a tough opponent, action fight, you know, but disappointing compared to the Mayweather fight, of course.
How over is it? If there was a phone call made tonight, tomorrow morning, is the fight with Joshua Clottey, is that signed and done, or is there any wiggle room left?
There is. Hopefully Mayweather will get this message and come to the table and fight us. I mean, the thing is, I mean, you know, let's just get this fight on. I mean, you know, the fight with Clottey is not signed yet as we speak, but it's very close, though, and you know, we want that big fight, and the world wants that big fight.
Is it possible, look, if both guys fight now, if Manny fights Josh Clottey, gets through him, if Floyd fights or doesn't fight, do you think this could happen in the fall, maybe September, November, if everybody comes to the table again?
I think so. You know, the thing is, I mean, I don't know why it just can't happen now, because the rules are going to be the same then and now. And, you know, again, Nevada's been a great commission for a long time, and they know what they're doing. I mean, but all of a sudden, a fighter's going to come in and dictate what the medical program is going to be. You know, Mayweather's not that big.
What do you think Floyd does now?
I don't care. You know, who's going to fight Paulie Malignaggi? You know, come on. Yeah, I mean, who else is going to fight that means something?
I bring that up because the winner of Mosley and Berto. Do you think Floyd Mayweather goes in that direction?
He might, but the thing is, he won't fight Mosley, though. He's been ducking Mosley for a long time, so I don't see that happening.
You don't think, all right, so you're saying you don't think Floyd Mayweather will then go to, because that's the natural opponent if it's not Manny Pacquiao, but you're saying you predict he's not going to go to Shane Mosley or Andre Berto?
No way.
Okay, we'll see what happens there. Freddie, thanks for being with us. Best of luck.
Thanks a lot. Take care, man.
All right. right, back here with Dan Rayfield, ESPN.com, who's been all over the story for, I guess, a month at this point, every single day through Christmas, everything. I thought that was important, Dan, because Floyd Mayweather can't keep going around saying he is the greatest now and of all time if he doesn't either go for Pacquiao or the winner of Mosley or Berto. That's my feeling on it. Where do you stand on how this whole mess has gotten us into now, where basically the Super Bowl, the World Series of this sport now seems to be going away?
It's a complete and utter disaster for the sport. I just think it's unbelievable. And there are people who are involved in this promotion. Richard Schaefer, who is with Golden Boy Promotions, said, and I quote, "If we can't get this done, we must be idiots." And he used the word idiots, and he said it, not me. And they didn't get it done. And shame on them and shame on everybody involved with this fight. I do want to correct one thing. And I'm not trying to lay blame on Mayweather here specifically, but you talked about how he agreed to go to 14 days. Ever since they started negotiating this fight, one of the points that Mayweather wanted from day one, and his people have been calling me and spinning it, as have the Pacquiao people. They wanted, on the Mayweather side, he wanted rigorous drug testing from day one, not just recently. So that's been on the table for them for a long time.
Okay, but now Floyd is the one who is causing the blow-up. He's installing his own policy here. But Floyd is also not asking Pacquiao to do anything he is not willing to do. So I think most people see both points. They're wondering, hey, is Pacquiao doing something dirty? And yet other people are saying, is Floyd actually kind of reticent to fight this guy? What do you think about either one of those?
You know, the fact is Floyd's 40-0, and he's fought 40 previous opponents, and he's never asked for anything different than what the rules were in the commission that he was fighting in. And so now all of a sudden he's fighting Manny Pacquiao, the #1 fighter in the world, and he's asking for special considerations to be made. Now, to Pacquiao's credit, he said, fine, you know what, if you want some blood testing, which he wasn't required to do under the laws and the rules of the state of Nevada, he agreed to do the 3 tests, and then he agreed to move to 24 days. So he's given on that. So I understand where Pacquiao is coming from in that respect. But the fact is, Mayweather wants to change the rules of the commission that have been in play for however many years, and one fighter is not bigger than the sport.
All right. Well, and thrown away not just the money, but really just so much attention now was potentially on the sport of boxing. Let's go to Teddy Atlas on all this. Now, Teddy, I figured once they went to mediation that even though it wasn't like binding arbitration, they'd find middle ground and their egos could be stepped aside. And I thought Floyd, has kind of tweaked him a little bit, gotten what he needed, and they could move on with the fight. Doesn't look like that's happening. What's your take on this whole thing, Teddy?
It's pretty simple. I mean, you could go in 1,000 different directions, and you guys went about 500 of them, and good for you. But to me, you just go to this man in the street. You go to the regular person, the blue-collar worker that takes care of his family, that, is willing to put out the money for a pay-per-view fight and see a good fight and allow these people to make the money. Those are the people that count. And if you ask those people, well, they're going to say one thing, and they have said one thing as far as what I've heard, and that is, why would you walk away from $30 million on the table just not to take some blood, just not to take a test? If you're clean, what do you have to hide? Now, in no way am I saying that I think Pacquiao is dirty. And no way am I saying that all the blame goes away from Mayweather in not making this fight. All I'm saying is that is what the regular man, the common man out there, and he has a right to think that and to say that. Why would you not make that fight if you're clean? Now,
Teddy,
some of my sources...
Teddy, let me just say one thing. I bet you if you were training Pacquiao, though, you would only allow yourself to be dictated to so much. What about that?
Listen, take it about, neither one of us are doctors, but I can tell you that doctors have stated that taking blood for a test does not weaken you. It does not. Now, psychologically, some people don't like it, but, hey, Pacquiao had some tattoos on him, I think I saw, so you can't say he's afraid of needles. I don't think we can go and say that. So, if it's really taking the blood, from what I understand, Mayweather's people were willing to make a concession where it would be 2 weeks away, where he would have enough time, if that was really the fear, that it seems like that could have been overcome. Look, my thing that I can add to this, again, from sources that told me, they said that people in the Pacquiao camp sent a couple of emails to the Mayweather camp a few weeks ago, about 2-3 weeks ago. And the first email was, what would the penalty be if our guy tested positive? The second email was, if he did test positive, could we keep this a secret for the benefit of boxing? Now, again, I don't know, other than my source, who I trust, told me that he saw those emails. Now, I also know that Tim Smith, The columnist from the Daily News reported on the same thing I just said. Now, if that's true, again, that doesn't prove anything definitively, but you just wonder why those questions were being asked.
All right, but they also could be setting up just the parameters of the whole thing, although that sounds very fishy, of course, Teddy, but that's still a possibility. Teddy, thank you so much. We're going to talk to you more about this a little later on. We're going to talk to Dan Rafael as well about the options for both fighters from this point forward, where I'm dying to talk about this. I mean, Pacquiao's options seem to be better than Floyd's, but we'll see. You can see what you're saying here on Sports Nation. Will they fight at some point in 2010? 58% saying yes. Let's hope it does.